Have you ever finished a requirements document and then heard this? That's not what I meant. This isn't what the business asked for. Why did you assume that? If you're a new business analyst, this video can save you months or even years of frustration. Today, I'll show you how to gather requirements, not just like a professional BA, but like a top BA, using proven techniques that actually work in real projects, not just a theory. Let's dive into it. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Natalia. I have over 15 years of experience in business analysis domain, and in this video, we're going to look into one of the most critical business analyst skills, requirements elicitation. I'll walk you through when to use each technique, how to use them effectively, common mistakes to avoid, and also we'll cover practical tips you can apply immediately. This video is not only for junior BAs and career switchers, but also for professional BAs who want to take their skills to the next level. What does gathering requirements really mean? First, let's clarify something. Requirements gathering is not just asking people what they want and just writing things down. Professional business analysts ask why questions. They ask a lot of why questions. They challenge assumptions, they clarify vague ideas, and they separate needs from solutions. Your goal as a business analyst is not just to collect opinions. Your goal is to understand the real business need. And to do that, business analysts use different elicitation techniques. Which technique to select is really depending on several factors. Stakeholders, project type, time constraints, and complexity of the project. Let's go through the most important ones. So, interviews are one of the most common and effective techniques used by business analysts. When to use interviews? Usually, interviews are used earlier in the project to gather initial information and set direction. You can also use it throughout the project, for example, when you need a deeper understanding. For example, you want to explore requirements, goals, or there are some challenges in details. Another scenario would be when stakeholders have different perspectives. You can use interviews to capture diverse viewpoints, identify gaps, or resolve conflicts. So how interview works? As a business analyst, you should prepare for interview by using these 3 key points. You should make sure to have clear objectives. Define what you want to achieve from the interview. Ask your stakeholders open-end questions, questions that encourage detailed and meaningful responses. Ask follow-up questions. Probe deeper based on the interviewee's answers to gain better insights. An example of a bad question that a business analyst can ask a stakeholder would be, do you like the current system? Good examples of questions that business analysts can ask are, what challenges do you face today? What slows you down the most? What happens if this particular step fails? Here are some pro tips. Listen more than you talk. Don't jump to solutions. Always validate assumptions. Confirm your understanding at the end of the conversation. For example, you can ask, so what I'm hearing is that manual approval causes delays. Is that correct? So workshops are very structured sessions facilitated by business analysts. So when to use workshops? When multiple stakeholders are involved. Book workshops when you have multiple stakeholders that involve in the project. That brings everyone together in one session. You can use workshops when there are conflicting opinions. This will help you to discuss differences and reach consensus. Also, you can use workshop when a quick alignment is required. This meeting will help you make decisions effectively and move forward. Let's talk about key 4 responsibilities that business analyst has in workshops. So, first of all, of course, they're responsible for facilitating the discussion. They're also responsible for keeping the conversation focused, make sure it doesn't derail into off topics. Third, resolving conflicts. And finally, capturing all decisions that were made during the workshop. Once you capture all the decisions, make sure that you also share them with all the stakeholders, because they have to review and make sure that you captured everything correctly. So, what are the common workshop types? Usually at the beginning of the project, you can facilitate a scope clarification workshop. Second type of workshop is process mapping. This is where you capture either current or future state process. And the third is, of course, requirements definition. The key business analyst skills here are facilitation. Facilitation means leading and not domination. You are guiding the conversation, not controlling it. Sometimes stakeholders find it difficult to explain what they do because their tasks have become second nature to them. So that's where observation becomes very valuable. So when to use observation? Manual or operational processes to see how tasks are actually performed. Frontline roles to understand day-to-day activities and challenges. High error rates to identify issues and uncover root causes. So how it works exactly? Business analyst would join the worker to watch them performing their tasks. They would take notes and ask clarification questions afterwards. Let's say you need to understand a process in the company. You sit down with user and the user tells you, well, this process is very simple. But once you actually observe it, you've noticed that there are 12 steps and also 3 works around. So simple, it's very subjective definition and doesn't really provide you any details. But observation actually uncovers the hidden requirements. So surveys can help you to collect input from a large number of people and to do it effectively and quickly. So when to use survey? As we mentioned, from large user groups, when feedback is required from many participants. When time is limited, when you need to collect information quickly. When you need quantitative data, meaning structured responses are required. Best practices. Keep surveys short. Ask clear questions and avoid language that can lead to misinterpretations. Use surveys to validate assumptions, to identify trends, and prioritize needs. Surveys are usually best to use along with the other techniques, not alone. Sometimes stakeholders don't know what they want until they actually see it. That's why prototyping is very powerful. So what prototyping does? Prototype turns concept into something visible and easy to understand. It reduces misunderstandings because it clarifies requirements and expectations earlier. It also encourages feedback because it allows stakeholders to react, suggest changes, and refine ideas. Tools business analysts usually use are Figma, Miro, and even PowerPoint. Prototypes are conversation starters, not final designs. And the questions that business analysts should ask are, so what works? What doesn't work? What would you change? User story mapping is very powerful. And what it helps with, seeing the bigger picture. It provides end-to-end view of the product or processes. It prioritizing work. It helps organize and sequence tasks based on the value. It helps to understand user journey because it shows how users interact with the systems step by step. Instead of isolating requirements, you see user goals, activities, all the steps that they need to do, and pain points. Instead of mapping just one story like user logs in, map the full journey. How they discover, how they register, how they log in, and how they use features. This helps teams build what matters first. What makes you pro is not only knowing the right techniques and when and how to apply them, but also knowing the common mistakes. The awareness of the pitfalls is a powerful tool. So let's talk about what not to do. Relying on one technique only. All these tools are available to you, so use them accordingly. Writing requirements without validation. This is a dangerous one. Assuming instead of confirming. It's very similar to the second point. Jumping to solutions too early. Not documenting decisions. So the golden rule is always confirm requirements to stakeholders. Even simple, can you confirm if this reflects our discussion, can prevent major issues later. To gather requirements like a pro, prepare before sessions. Use multiple techniques. Listen actively. Ask a lot of why questions. And always validate everything. Remember, your job is not to be the smartest person in the room. Your job is to bring clarity to the project. If you find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment below what BA topic do you want me to cover next, and subscribe for more BA career tips. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next one.